And I turned around, and there on the bed behind me was my body. There was no emotion, there was no fear, there was no pain, there was nothing, just, oh, there's my body. And then I floated out of my body and into a very, very dark tunnel. Pitch black, absolutely cannot see or perceive anything. But it was warm, safe, loving, non-judgmental, and blissful. Just blissful, like I had never felt. And I'm kind of perceiving that I'm floating through this tunnel, but I can't see, so I can't see movement. I just kind of perceive it. And I get to this, what I call a widening, maybe a room, I don't know. I still couldn't see anything or perceive anything, but it felt wider. And I'm here and I'm like, well, it still feels blissful. It still feels wonderful. Okay, I'm fine. I'm good with it. And then a voice talked to me. I can't see this being at all. I can only hear this voice. And it was very male. Well, not very. I perceived it as male. It was very loving, very, very non-judgmental, very kind. And he asked, do you want to come now? And I knew instantly what he was saying. And I kind of panicked for a little bit, knowing what he was saying. And I said, I can't. I have 2 children to raise. And I perceived a nod of the head, no judgment, just a nod of the head. And I was instantly going back down the tunnel, plop back in my body, and fever broke. And I was out of the hospital the next day. And so I just stayed in bed for 3 days. And during that time, I went somewhere. I don't know how I went there. I don't know why I went there. But it was kind of, it was very indistinct, like foggy. But it was a kind of a orange, brown, pink, grayish color. However, it was again warm, blissful, non-judgmental, just loving. And there were beings there. I knew they were there. I could hear them. I couldn't see them. I can't tell you who they were. And I could tell you there was a lot of them. And they seemed to be kind of circling around me, but I can't say that for sure. But they were chanting at me. They were chanting over and over, you have done what you came here to do. You have done what you came here to do. And I'm like, oh, that's fine, that's fine. What? And as soon as I realized what it was they were saying, back in the body again. And I'm like, wait a minute. If I've done what I came here to do, why am I still here? Normal question. No answer. So, okay, fine. If I've done what I came here to do, maybe I better start shoring up all the loose ends and such. And so I did everything I could, that if I was going to be gone from here suddenly, that whoever was left behind would have as easy a time as possible with it. I set up all of the who gets what of my stuff and what needs to go, everything. And I started studying, if I'm going to be here, but I may not be here very long, maybe I better study how to die well. And so I got really into Ram Dass. And this is when things really started for me as a spiritual path. I studied everything from Ram Dass. And I learned how to die well, but I also learned how to live well. Because if you've been to the other side, you know there is no death. And if there is no death, it's much easier to live life to the fullest. And so I was doing the very best I could. Of course, I'm really weak. I'm not able to move. It's not like I'm going mountain climbing or anything. But the energy, the feeling of life had changed.